You know what? My sister's a big One Direction fan, and I figured here's a target demographic of the show. It's all these people who love One Direction.
Sal Valentinetti wasn't born under the spotlight. Before his name echoed across millions of living rooms, he was just another teenager from Long Island, cruising around in a Cadillac, delivering pizzas, and singing along to Frank Sinatra. But all that changed in an instant. One golden moment on national television catapulted him from anonymity to viral stardom. A voice straight out of a 1950s jazz club, a swagger that screamed old school cool, and a personality as bold as brass, Sal wasn't just another contestant. He was a throwback sensation wrapped in modern-day charm. And yet, behind that velvet voice and confident grin lies a story few truly know. What really happened after the golden buzzer? How did the Sinatra-style crooner navigate fame, family, health scares, and the pressure to stay relevant in a world that's constantly chasing the next big thing? As the applause faded and the cameras turned away, Sal faced choices and challenges that could have ended it all, or set him up for something even greater. Long before the glitz of televised talent shows, Sal Valentinetti's world was shaped in the quiet corners of Bethpage, a small town nestled in Long Island. Raised in a modest home, it wasn't flashing lights or roaring crowds that first inspired him. It was the warm companionship of his grandmother. She introduced him to the timeless legends of the crooner era: Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Tony Bennett. Their records didn't just play in the background, they filled the room, and eventually they filled Sal's heart. But music was only a hobby then. By his own admission, Sal didn't grow up with a dream to sing. He was a shy kid, often alone, who never considered music as a career. That changed in his teenage years when a simple horn lesson with music teacher Dr. Joseph Merkel led to an unexpected discovery. Encouraged to sing a Bobby Darin tune, Sal let his voice loose and stunned the room. Merkel was impressed immediately. His mother? Not so much. Skeptical and unimpressed, she brushed off the idea of lessons, thinking it was all a scam. Sal would later laugh about it, chalking it up to her being from Queens. But slowly, the support grew. His performance at a school spaghetti dinner turned heads, and with time, his family got behind him. The boy who once doubted his voice now had a reason to believe in it, and the echoes of Sinatra were only growing louder. Before Sal Valentinetti's name made headlines, it was scribbled on pizza delivery receipts. At just 17, Sal wasn't performing on stage. He was delivering pies in a Cadillac, a flashy ride for such a humble job. But even then, the showman in him couldn't help but shine. Customers remembered the car. Some remembered the charm. Few imagined the voice waiting behind the wheel. That turning point came thanks to a family member, his uncle, who landed him a small singing gig at a local restaurant. It wasn't a stadium, but it was a stage. And that's all it took. From there, the encouragement came in waves. His family urged him to audition for talent competitions, sensing that he might have something rare. First came American Idol. The night of Sal Valentinetti's audition on America's Got Talent Season 11 wasn't just another episode. It was a defining moment. Striding onto the stage with that unmistakable New York swagger and a vintage sense of style, Sal looked like he'd stepped out of another era. Then came his rendition of Frank Sinatra's My Way, and the crowd knew instantly. They were watching something rare. His voice, deep and velvety, filled the room with nostalgia, while his presence commanded attention. Judge Howie Mandel and Mel B didn't hesitate. They both said yes. But it was Heidi Klum who sealed his fate with a dazzling twist. She stood up, smiled, and slammed her hand onto the golden buzzer. Confetti rained down as Sal stood in shock, instantly propelled to the quarterfinals. That moment didn't just validate his talent, it turned him into a viral sensation. Sal didn't play it safe either. In later rounds, he took risks, jazzing up One Direction's Story of My Life, a bold move that earned him standing ovations. even from the usually hard-to-please Simon Cowell. Each performance felt like a time capsule as Sal leaned into his crooner roots with renditions of Sinatra's That's Life and Bobby Darin's Mac the Knife. By the time he reached the finals, he'd lost over 50 pounds, not for the camera, but because he was pre-diabetic and serious about his health. He didn't win the grand prize, but he walked away as one of the most memorable finalists in history, landing 5th place and setting the stage for everything that came next. When the curtain dropped on America's Got Talent, most expected Sal Valentinetti's journey to slow down. Instead, it pivoted. Just months after the season wrapped, he returned, not to compete, but to celebrate. Sal was invited to perform in the AGT Holiday Spectacular, a primetime event filled with festive flair. And this time, he wasn't singing alone. On stage with him was Heidi Klum, the very judge who had catapulted him into the spotlight with her golden buzzer. The two shared a cheeky, jazzy duet of Santa Baby, a performance that sparked plenty of online chatter. Fans wondered, was there something more between them? The chemistry was undeniable, but Sal played it cool, brushing off the rumors with charm and class. While he didn't join the official AGT Las Vegas residency, Sal did headline in Vegas, opening for comedy icon Jay Leno at the Mirage's Terry Fader Theater. He followed that with a whirlwind of travel, performing at a wedding in a German castle, swinging through Bangkok, and even appearing in San Diego. This wasn't just a victory lap. It was Sal exploring life beyond the reality TV bubble. Still grounded in his New York roots, but now equipped with a passport, a platform, and a purpose, he embraced the chance to see the world before diving deeper into his career. He wasn't delivering pizzas anymore. He was delivering performances. Post-AG, Sal Valentinetti wasn't fading. He was rising. Venue after venue began to fill. From the legendary Madison Square Garden to the NYCB Theater at Westbury, where Frank Sinatra himself had once stood, Sal was now taking the mic. He even sold out the Paramount 3 nights in a row, a feat few independent artists can claim. Fans flocked to see the man who made jazz cool again. He wasn't chasing charts. He was building legacy. Behind the scenes, Sal aligned himself with industry veteran Ron Alexenberg, a former CBS Records executive, to help shape his sound and strategy. His 2017 EP, The Voice, was a throwback triumph, featuring classy covers like The Way You Look Tonight and You Make Me Feel So Young. And his performances didn't stop at big venues. Sal made surprise appearances, sometimes even delivering pizzas just for fun, a playful nod to his past that doubled as clever PR. But with success came the wear. Touring life was exhilarating but demanding. There were whispers in the industry. Was Sal burning out? Could the golden buzz of AGT really sustain a long-term career? Sal, true to form, didn't comment. He just kept showing up, night after night, suit pressed and mic in hand, doing what he loved. Still, not everything that glittered was gold, and cracks were beginning to show. The spotlight often hides what's happening behind it. In 2019, fans were caught off guard when news broke that Sal Valentinetti had suffered a sudden health scare. While in South Florida, the singer collapsed without warning and was rushed to Jupiter Medical Center by the Tequesta Fire Department. The diagnosis? A minor case of pneumonia, but enough to knock him off his feet. Around the same time, he underwent surgery to remove all 4 wisdom teeth. It wasn't life-threatening, but it painted a picture. The touring, the pressure, the travel, it was taking a toll. And then came another hiccup, one that made more noise on social media than in tabloids. Sal reportedly got into a heated confrontation with a driver who backed into his prized Cadillac. The details were murky, but according to eyewitnesses, the exchange was intense. Some fans worried that the once charming crooner might be cracking under the weight of public life. Others dismissed it as a moment of justified frustration. Sal didn't feed the flames. He kept his response short, letting the buzz pass. But between the health issues and the brushes with stress, it was clear. The life of a working artist, even one with charm and swagger, wasn't without strain. Fame had opened doors, But it had also exposed him to the kind of scrutiny that never quite turns off. In 2019, Sal Valentinetti made a surprising move. He returned to the franchise that had first made him a household name. This time, it wasn't just America's Got Talent. It was AGT The Champions, a global face-off of standout performers from around the world. For many fans, it felt like destiny. Sal had unfinished business. He had the voice, the charm, and the fan base. But what happened next left audiences puzzled. Despite his strong vocals and signature style, Sal didn't make it past the preliminary round. No dramatic elimination, no outburst, just a quiet exit. Some speculated that his traditional crooner appeal may not have been enough to compete with fire dancers, danger acts, and viral sensations in an increasingly spectacle-driven show. Others wondered if his act had become too familiar, too safe, for a format built on shock value. Sal, ever the professional, didn't dwell on the outcome. He offered no complaints, no cryptic interviews. He walked away with grace, once again choosing to let his music do the talking. But the result raised a lingering question. Had Sal's moment passed? Or was the world simply overlooking a timeless voice in a short attention span era? While the stage lights dimmed momentarily, Sal Valentinetti's personal life began to shine brighter than ever. In 2021, he released Little Valentine, a romantic album backed by the No Vacancy Orchestra. Featuring 13 tracks steeped in timeless charm, the project marked a return to form and a personal milestone. But the biggest headline didn't come from a music release. That December, Sal proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Gianna Olivia. The engagement wasn't splashed across tabloids. It was shared the way Sal shares most things, through quiet, heartfelt updates on social media. Fans got a rare glimpse into the man behind the mic. Playful, grounded, and deeply in love. He posted snippets of their life together, always accompanied by a smile or a sweet caption. When asked about the secret to a lasting relationship, Sal offered simple advice: keep things young and fresh. It was a philosophy that seemed to guide not just his love life, but his music too. In a world obsessed with the next big thing, Sal found joy in the familiar. Romantic ballads, old-school flair, and moments that mattered more than metrics. For the crooner from Bethpage, this wasn't a comeback. It was just life, lived on his own terms. Today, Sal Valentinetti continues to do what he's always done best: sing, charm, and show up for his fans. He still performs across the country, headlining jazz clubs, theaters, and special events where the crowds are loyal and the atmosphere electric. His voice hasn't faded. It's matured, deepened, and evolved with him. On social media, he offers glimpses of his day-to-day life. Behind-the-scenes studio moments, throwbacks to AG, and snapshots of life with Gianna. There are no viral stunts or headline-chasing antics, just steady updates from a man content with his place in the world. And yet, Sal hasn't lost that edge. He's still a showman, still sharp with the microphone, and still eager to bring a classic genre to new audiences. He may not dominate the pop charts or trend weekly on TikTok, but in the world of jazz and vocal performance, his name still carries weight. For Sal Valentinetti, fame was never about flash. It was about finding his voice and using it. And if you listen closely, it's still ringing out, just as strong as ever. From a Cadillac delivery car to center stage under a cascade of golden confetti, Sal Valentinetti's journey has been anything but ordinary. He didn't win America's Got Talent, but he won something far more elusive, a place in the hearts of millions who craved something genuine in a world of digital noise. He brought back a sound many thought forgotten, wrapped it in swagger, and proved that old-school charm still has a place in modern music. Along the way, he faced the trials that come with sudden fame: health scares, media scrutiny, and the pressure to keep evolving without losing who he is. But through it all, he stayed true to his roots. Family first, voice-driven, never chasing trends. Today, he stands not as a reality TV footnote, but as a working artist who turned 15 minutes of fame into a lasting legacy. And as the music plays on, one can't help but wonder, is Sal Valentinetti quietly crafting the next big chapter? Or has he already found what most dream of? Authenticity, stability, and a spotlight that doesn't need to blind in order to shine.